Hey, it's Lydia and Wolf from Summer Dragon Studios, and as I get ready for Anther New England, I want to give some tips on going to and fursuiting at furry cons that I learned from going to last year's con. This could be things that I either wish I had known before going to the con, or just anything I think might not come to mind right away, or not be super obvious when planning to go to your first con. The first bit of advice that I can give is to not be afraid to walk up to people in their fursuits and go and talk to them. When I went to my first con, I was a bit nervous about walking up to people, but once I had people walking up to me and asking to talk to me and to take photos, I realized, hey, this is actually awesome. I like this. So people like when you come up to them during the convention and want to talk and want to take pictures. A lot of people are more than happy to give you a hug in their fursuit and stuff like that. So I think the best way to make friends at a convention is to just go up to people and talk to them and try to have a conversation. And not being afraid to do so is one mistake that I made during my first con, because I thought I would be a bother to people or I was being annoying, but I realized that this is far from the case and people are there to make friends. My second tip is a bit more on the practical side. You're going to want to bring a bag that is easily accessible while you're wearing your fursuit. So in my case, last year I brought a backpack that I could wear over my fursuit, and this year I've installed pockets into the legs of my bodysuit. But you're gonna need a space to store your phone, wallet, and hotel keys while you're walking around the con that's safe but also accessible in case you need to, take photos with someone or pull your wallet out at the vendor hall or things like that. So some solutions that people use, a lot of people like to wear a fanny pack with their fursuit. Personally, I don't like how that looks, but a lot of people will do that. If you don't have a full suit, you can just wear clothes with pockets, and that works just fine. I rigged a harness bag setup that I use sometimes in addition to the pockets on my suit that'll help me carry all the things that I need for the con. I have some other videos up on my channel about putting those together, how I made those and how they work. So if you want to look at that and take some inspiration from there, I hope that can be helpful. But personally, I am really excited about my suit that has pockets in it so that I don't have to have anything extra hanging from my suit that I have to carry with me, and it's all hidden inside so my suit can look sleek and nice for the con. Third, make a meal plan. Whether it's selecting nearby restaurants or making and cooking food in advance and bringing it to your hotel room, either way, you're going to want to have a plan in place for what you're going to be eating during the con. This can take a lot of the guesswork out of your food and can also save a lot of time in the decision state, because if you already have a plan, you don't need to spend time sitting and talking with whoever you're there with trying to decide what to eat, and instead you can just have fun on the con floor, and then when it's time to eat, you can just go and have dinner without having to sit there and decide for a while about it. It's also helpful to have a meal plan so that you know that you're going to get the nutrition that you need to survive for the weekend. Tip number 4 is to find out what kind of amenities the con has available. So things like the fursuiting lounges where suitors can take their heads off and cool down, or places where there's water available, bathrooms. You're going to want to find out the distance from your hotel room to the main con floor, whether that's how many floors up you are in the main hotel, or if you're in an overflow hotel, how far that walk is going to be, so that you can plan accordingly for things like getting to panels on time, or just if you get tired, you need to know how far the walk is so that you don't wear yourself out just getting back to your hotel room. And finally, don't sacrifice your physical well-being. It's really important to stay in a good physical state during a convention, especially if you're wearing a fursuit, because wearing a fursuit is a pretty physically demanding activity. You're going to want to eat really good, substantial meals. Put this in your meal plan. You're going to want to drink enough water. So either knowing where to find water on the con or having a water bottle on you at all times so that you don't get dehydrated and suffer more because of that, because you sweat a lot while you're inside a fursuit, so your body loses water a lot faster than you regularly would. You're also going to want to get enough sleep so that you can be energized for the next day. A lot of furries repeat this rule. The 6-2-1 rule is like a bare minimum for self-care at a convention. So that is 6 hours of sleep, 2 meals a day, and 1 shower. So this is a this is a baseline, like I said. You can build your own plan around this, but this is a recommended minimum of self-care for each day at a convention. Furry cons can be a really great experience if you go into them well prepared. The majority of my tips here boil down to planning and knowing what's going on, because being confused and not knowing what to do is the fastest way to make the weekend really stressful for yourself. So hopefully these tips can be helpful, and thank you for watching.